right. Greetings, everyone. Greetings. Gratitude for joining Awaken Living with Yali Giovanni. And I am so excited to dive into today's interview because our conversation with Jen the Rainmaker, the dream planting guru, like I call her, feels like such a sacred and creative practice. Jen,
Yes.
gratitude for joining me. Gratitude for accepting the invite. I really appreciate you. We did meet a while back, and I
Mhm.
have joined your class and have actually applied dream planting to my own personal life, which is where I am today. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. So, Jen, why don't you share a little bit about yourself?
Thank you so much, first of all, for allowing me to be here. Definitely grateful, especially, while we're recording this on the 999 portal. So that feels very, significant, opening up this new 9 year cycle. Nines are actually very significant in the dream realm as well. It is about getting free from our underworlds and reaching our greatest destiny. Doing this work. So I am one of the last living blood descendants of Chichimeka dream warriors who believed that our dreams create our reality. And they passed on a body of knowledge known as Nahualism, which is the art of I, the true I,
Okay.
for the last, thousands of years. Basically, this body of knowledge has been passed down parent to child, teacher to student, uninterrupted through our oral tradition. So some people will see that, on my name it says Jen the Rainmaker and also says Sochi Katsali because Sochi Katsali is the name that was given to me by elders. And in our
Mhm.
astrological chart, it is a name that we are to live up to.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
Wow.
basically, I just feel that, I am my ancestors' dream living here, and I'm just a little girl living out her dreams. And so I have been entrusted to share this body of knowledge that we weren't able to share until 2012 with the public.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
That's interesting. There's something you said that actually resonated with me, right? Because when you said you are your ancestors' dream, right? I truly feel that I am my ancestors' dream
Yes.
because I feel like I'm living out some of their purpose that they didn't get to live out here or they didn't get to finish. And I
Mhm.
feel that within myself. It's like sometimes I don't share it with people because I'm like, they're not going to understand what I'm saying or they're going to think I'm crazy, which I
Mm.
often say, oh, Yali, tú estás loca. Yali, you're crazy. Because some of my thought process are so way out there that they don't understand it. So the fact that you said that really and truly confirmed exactly how I've been feeling about living out their dreams as well as my own. So gratitude for sharing that.
And I want to be clear on something too, because I think it's really important. So I did not say I'm my ancestors' wildest dreams.
Hmm.
So I know we hear that a lot, and
Hmm.
we think that that's a really great thing.
Yeah.
However, my ancestors believed that our literal dreams are creating our waking reality. And so it requires a living one to
Okay.
change a pattern of dreaming that has been passed down for generations. As an example, when people say heart disease runs in their family, or diabetes, or bad relationships, or divorces, or whatever, there's a pattern of dreaming that's running in the family. So, as an example, if your great great grandfather was being chased by a tiger, but you
Hmm.
were being chased by a stranger, a shadow, a car, or something, right? Something more relevant to this today, as I said, a
Yeah.
car. It takes the living one to change that pattern of dreaming, right? So it's not that certain things run in our family, it's that these patterns of dreaming is running through. And so that's why I'm very clear. Like I'm like, I don't want to have anything to do with their wildest dreams.
Yeah.
I am their most flourishing dreams, their most prospering dreams, their healthiest dreams, right? And then to your point, we take that baton that they're passing us
Yeah.
and we are going further than they ever could, right? That is
Yeah.
basically what we are here to do. And so I'm also, very much that like I am their dream in the sense that they dreamed me forward, they dreamed me here, but I also know that I have dreams different from theirs.
Yes.
And so I'm also very mindful of living my dreams because their dreams were different, what they had. And if they weren't able to do certain things, right, I'm very
Mhm.
clear with them that this is my life.
Right.
I love you. And there's certain things we probably are not going to agree on. There's
Right.
different things I'm going to have, but I'm here to live my life.
And that's funny you say that, right? Because I have had those conversations with my ancestors as well. I'm a very straightforward person. And so oftentimes when I look back, like my dad, he was quiet, but if he had a drink, like even a shot, he would say whatever's on his mind and he didn't care. I don't need a drink.
Right.
I'm just gonna say, like it or not, and I'm gonna keep it trucking, right? So
Mhm.
gratitude for sharing that. How has dream planting shaped your life journey today?
If I really, really sit with that question, it'll make me very emotional
Okay.
because it's not just about what it has done for me,
Mhm.
it is what it has done for my students, for my clients, for my family, for the collective.
Yeah.
I've had students come to me and tell me that they have been able to heal themselves from things that they were told were incurable.
Yeah.
I've had people, students come to me and say how it has changed their entire finances or
Mm.
how it has changed their relationship with their children, how
Yeah.
it has changed their relationship with their spouse, how it has changed their relationship with themselves,
Yes.
how they have been able to step into their own purpose, how they've been able to have confidence within themselves, to
Yeah.
go to a place of not feeling worthy or, getting out of abusive relationships and entering into a relationship or relationships, that they had only once really dreamed of.
Right.
Because that's what I also talk to people about as well is reawakening the power of our dreams because we hear dream life, dream wife, dream home, dream
Right.
car. So there's power in our dreams. And so I'm also here to reawaken that within people and to say, really think about the dreams that you have had, but also what is it that you're programming into your subconscious before you're going to sleep? Because many people will say, I have nightmares all of the time. And I say, but do you ever program your dreams? Do you ever command what you want to dream?
Right.
Say, I didn't even know that I could do that. Well, absolutely you can. And so I always say that's also the first step of actually
Okay.
planting a dream
Yeah.
is just commanding what you want to dream. But, dream planting, which really when I talk about that, there's so many different ways you can plant a dream.
Hmm.
Specifically, what we call the Mexicatine, which is a 5-step process we do right before we go to sleep,
Okay.
right? That's a very specific process because these teachings were originally taught over 52 years. So there's many different practices that we do,
Hmm.
right? In planting the dream, as an example, asking about the greatest change, and what I have seen is I always tell people like first, if we look at our life as a garden, we're looking at manifesting or creating something. If we're looking at the garden, we have to first pull the weeds out.
Correct.
So when we talk about planting dreams, there's so much that happens even before that, right?
Yes.
Which also helps people when it comes to clarity, when it comes to confidence, when it comes to loving themselves and believing in themselves. Because I've seen where students will come in, this is too easy.
Yeah.
It makes them feel some kind of way, like I've been taught life is supposed to be hard and things are
Right.
supposed to be hard. So then they feel guilty
Yes.
that it's too easy or it starts to happen so fast for them, they get scared of
Yes.
the change or the transformation. So weeds, 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 pull the weeds, pull the weeds. So sometimes they'll step away for a while
Hmm.
since they're doing that work, and then they'll come back 6 months later or a year later and really like go deep into it, right? Because we're
Right.
talking about deep subconscious work when we're talking about working with our dreams. So for me, it's something beyond words. It's
Yeah.
a feeling that I get. It's the memories that I have of talking to my students and hearing them, crying about certain things that were happening in their lives. Even when people are working, 16-hour days and they're just wanting to spend more time with their children and they haven't even had time to dream about what their lives are. So to take them from a place like that,
Yeah.
then where now they're in their own business, they're commanding their own schedule, they're traveling the world, they're doing all of these things that once was just a dream to
Right.
them, right? A conscious dream that
Hmm.
once was just a conscious dream to them. It really just fills me with so much joy and pleasure. And so, what I get out of it is the fruit
Mm.
of the seeds that people have planted. I get to see the fruit. I mean, I'm part of their journey, so I kind of see them, all the way through. But even in my own life, I was just in Greece for my daughter's 15th birthday, last year. This year,
Mhm.
we're going to Tokyo. We're talking about going to, Hawaii and Spain. And that was once a dream that I had, that I was going to travel, that I was going to teach, that I was going to spend time with her, but that I was going to show other people too, like that they could also live their dreams. So
Yeah.
for me, the most rewarding thing is seeing other people's dream plantings blossom.
Gratitude for sharing that. And I say gratitude because I've been your student. And initially, when I joined the class, so much turmoil that was happening in my life that I couldn't focus.
Mhm.
However, when my mother transitioned, I always shared that her transition was my rebirth.
Mm,
I felt free within my spirit. It's just hard to explain, but the simplest way for me to explain it is that I felt free and I felt like there was no judgment anymore. And so that drew me to the water, which was when I was living in Florida at the time. I went to the beach and I found myself driving to the beach and just sitting before the water. And then this one particular day, I was praying while I was facing the water and I heard her voice and
mhm.
it was clear as day. And then after that, the water was moving and then something told me to get up and step into the water, right?
Yeah.
So I got up and stepped into the water and it started.
Mhm.
And then I stepped out and it got calm. And then I stepped in again and I said, no, this is not I wish I had recorded it. Right. And
Mhm.
then I stepped back out again and it got calm. And I stepped in. I said, oh, right. So I took the water and I just threw it over from the top of my head all the way down. And then I walked into the water and then it became calm. It was
Mhm.
just the most beautiful experience that
Mhm.
I wish I had recorded it, but I'm glad I didn't because it would have taken away from that moment.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, and I love to live in the moment, which oftentimes I miss out on recordings and taking pictures to show people. But at the same time, I have no regrets because I think it's important to live in the moment. That's
Yes.
just how I move. How do you guide someone in distinguishing between a fleeting desire and a deeply rooted dream that's worth planting, per se?
My first response is I don't, in the sense that what I'm doing is I guide them back to themselves, actually.
Okay.
And the way that I do that, and this is one of the things I love about dream planting and the
Mm-hmm.
dream work,
Mm-hmm.
is that, as an example tonight, right? We're in this 999 portal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling you how nine is associated with our underworlds.
Right.
So our underworlds are things like our fears, our ancestral patterns that are harmful to us,
Mm-hmm.
our self-sabotage,
Mm-hmm.
our limitations, right? So as an example, I would say to somebody tonight, you can issue a simple command, and you can do this any night. It's really powerful tonight. You know,
Mm-hmm.
take me to the place where I am free from my underworlds. Take me to the place where I am free from my self-sabotage, where I am free from my limiting beliefs, where I am free from any harm or hurt or
Yeah.
resentment that I'm still carrying in my heart, in my body, in my bones, in my blood. And I can say lots of different things, but see, in that, in doing that, that's going to help a person determine that fleeting thing from something real.
Yeah.
There, that it will be revealed to them. So I'm very tapped in,
Mm-hmm.
very tapped in. So when people are speaking to me, I can see things, I can all the things, right? Feel
Right.
things, everything, just inner knowing as well.
Mhm.
And so sometimes people will say something, and in my mind, I'm like, that's not your truth.
Right.
But instead of telling them, well, that's not your truth, what
Hmm.
I'm going to do is kind of guide them through a prompt or something where that truth is going to be revealed to them, because sometimes some people are not ready for the truth.
That's true.
They have to kind of go through some things. You
Yeah.
saying it isn't even necessarily going to help them. I've had so many people do certain things, and I'm like I'll tell them, like, you may want to reconsider something, right? I'm kind of, and they know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
but I also know it's going to take them a while to learn that lesson
Mhm.
because they're used to learning lessons the hard way,
Right.
or they're used to creating chaos in their lives, their nervous system, while they say they want this soft life or,
Yeah.
they want all of these things. They're used to chaos. They're used to drama. There's a part of their body that's feeding off of it. There's a part of their nervous system. So it's also like you kind of also want the process sometimes to be a little gentler with people.
Yeah.
So that's why I love being able to give somebody the prompt. So it will be revealed to them in the perfect time for them because sometimes they're still learning a lesson
Yes.
that they're going to have to, learn for them to realize actually, yeah, that wasn't something that I really want. That was something that somebody told me 10, 20 years ago, or that was the version of me from 20 years ago, but
Right.
that's the new me.
Right.
That's not actually what I want anymore. That's what I believed was possible,
Hmm.
or that's what I allowed somebody to program into my subconscious
Right.
when I was younger or unaware.
Hmm.
I see that so often where people are living the
Hmm.
subconscious programming that they received at really big times in their life when they were open. So we know most of the programming we received is from when we were in the womb up until 7, but now
Yes.
there's 13. We know we received programming also after that time,
Yeah.
right? I always tell people if you think about yourself as a phone that needs to be updated, right, periodically.
Hmm.
But let's just think of ourselves. We are a supercomputer walking around. We as humans, we are these supercomputers, right?
Correct.
So we are either living the programming of somebody else or we are programming ourselves every single night. And it
Yes.
has to be every single night because every single day you're getting bombarded with programming. You could just walk by a TV. You might not even be watching the show. Maybe somebody in your home is watching. You hear something, your subconscious picks it up, and it may take that as truth, and you don't even know that your computer has just downloaded something, a
Right.
virus,
Right. Virus.
a
Exactly.
virus. Now you have this virus and you're walking around and you're living that programming.
Right.
So by being able to issue different prompts to your subconscious before you're drifting off to sleep, which is one of the best states in your theta state, and right when you're waking up,
Hmm.
all those things become revealed to you.
Yes. I agree because I had to unlearn to
Yep.
relearn, right? And I had to get rid of some viruses
Exactly.
for me to upgrade some new technology into my brain, right? So new
Yep.
beliefs,
Hmm.
right? That's me knowing that I can manifest whatever I desire, not just saying it, but actually believing it, right?
Absolutely.
Because
Hmm.
how I know I can say for myself is that I walked around saying, oh, yeah, I can manifest this, but I really didn't believe it because I still had that doubt like, man, can I really do that? Until I started applying it, I realized, oh, today I call myself a master manifester because anything I command comes to me, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So you're right. You have to unlearn, you have to get rid of the virus, and you got to upload new information so that you can allow yourself to really truly live out that life. It's not just the same, it's actually believing it and knowing that you can. That's the difference. And I could actually see the difference because I'm my own guinea pig.
Right.
Yeah, gratitude for that. What would be one step aside from getting ready to plant right before going to sleep? Right? Say I've never heard of dream planting. I came across you today and I'm like, let me try this. Okay, so I'm about to go to sleep.
Hmm.
What should I do?
Really, you're just going to issue that command to your subconscious.
Okay.
If you are somebody that prays
Yes.
to whomever you believe in,
Right.
you can do it as a prayer.
Okay.
Right? If you are somebody that communicates with your ancestors, or you communicate with a certain, deity, whomever it would be, or just speak directly to your subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
So the what I usually tell people is to say, feet, take me to the place, because that's also very neutral.
Yes.
So there's no religious, there's no, right,
Right.
anything attached. But if you want to weave in whatever your beliefs are, absolutely do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why we command the feet is because literally when we're going somewhere, it's our feet that are taking us there, right?
Correct.
It's the symbolism of them, whether they're physically taking us there. If somebody can't walk, it's still the physical symbolism of us walking on our path to our greatest destiny. So it could be something as simple as feet. While I'm sleeping, take me to the place where I am the happiest I've ever been, where I am the healthiest I've ever been, where I am the wealthiest I have ever been, where my life is filled with joy and laughter and amazing memories and amazing relationships, where I love myself so much
Yes.
that I care for myself, that I intuitively know the right foods to eat. I intuitively know the things that I need, the books to read, the people that I need to surround myself with,
Right.
clear my path so I can reach my greatest destiny while I'm sleeping and while I'm waking.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I think that is the most interesting, simplest form that you could have shared with us,
Yeah.
especially for those that have never heard about dream planting, didn't know about dream planting, and is now listening and hearing about it for the first time, and they can simply follow the instruction you just shared. And it's as simple as it can be.
Yes,
As
absolutely.
simple as it can be.
Because that's the first step.
Right.
Right. So before we can get into all the other things and the five-step movement, that's the to your point, it's the simplest thing I can give somebody. It's the simplest tool I can give somebody. It's
Yeah.
the simplest gift I can give somebody,
Mhm.
right? Without getting into all the other things and all the other ways that we can manifest and clearing and all of that. But I just urge people that every single night before you go to sleep or even before you take a nap, anytime you're going to go to sleep, say something quick, say something easy, command that time
Yeah.
because it's one of the most powerful times. And even when you're waking up,
Correct.
right? That's when you want to be doing your affirmations. That's when you want to be doing things because in that theta state, that's the state that you were usually in as a child. You're just like the sponge. You don't know the
Yeah.
difference. So you want to run your own programming every single time before you are drifting off to sleep.
Absolutely. And again, community, Jen said something that it really resonated strongly, and I hope that it resonated with you as well, is that you have the power to command what you desire in your life.
Mhm.
Know that, believe that, feel that, because it won't happen unless you know it, unless you believe it, and unless you feel it. You can say it out your mouth, but if you don't have one or all three of those, then it's just going to be a redundant life that you're going to have, and you're going to keep wishing and wishing that you could have and what you should have, right?
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Gratitude, gratitude, Jen, for sharing your wisdom and insight on dream planting with us today. For our community, how can they reach you?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So they can basically go to dreamplanting.com and that is our website. They can get some information there. They can also email the tribal council at thedreamwarriors.org. So if they ever have questions or things like that, if they're ever interested in becoming a client or a student, the application is there on the dreamplanting.com. And I usually meet, with all of the students as well, as part of like an intake process. But because I'm not really on social media, but I
Correct.
do have my Instagram, Jen the Rainmaker. We probably will be sharing some more things. Right now, I'm also really helping people because of my background in financial services and what I've been doing for over 20 years.
Yes.
We've been really doing a lot of education workshops, webinars on that, and helping also people just around the energy of abundance, prosperity, stepping into fully into their powers. Yeah, those are the places they can reach me.
Absolutely. Gratitude, Jen. Once again, I'm grateful for the inspiration you've given us today. And
Thank
I
you.
know our community will walk away feeling encouraged to plant and nurture their own seed so that they can live their abundant life. Gratitude once again for joining Yali Giovanni here at Awaken Living. And don't forget that if you have any questions, you can go to yaligiovanni.com and you will find all the information that you need there. And if you can't, just go ahead and press contact us now and we'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. Once again, have a great day and gratitude for joining us.